So right now, Marvel Studios is deciding what they are going to do with Phase 6, meaning they are determining the slate, all the movies and all of the shows, and special presentations as well, everything that is going into Phase 6. This is great news because, of course, we're all dying to know what Phase 6 is going to include. However, unfortunately, this will come with some bad news, depending on how you look at it. Since Marvel Studios' plans have changed due to Robert Downey Jr. returning, the Russo brothers returning, and Stephen McFeely returning to write the Avengers movies as well, that unfortunately means that Marvel Studios' plans have changed for Phase 6, which means some projects don't exactly fit anymore. And not just projects, but ideas and plot points and certain characters they set up before are either going to be scrapped or we're not going to see them at least anytime soon, not until after the multiverse saga. And then some movies like Shang Chi 2 might be in jeopardy of getting cut from the multiverse saga. And I say getting cut from the multiverse saga because there will most likely be a Shang Chi 2 if they decide not to do this film before Doomsday or before Secret Wars. And to be clear, the only reason that this project might get canceled is simply because of the story and the timeline and the continuity of what they want to tell in the multiverse saga leading up to Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. It's not that they don't have faith in the movie, because the first Shang-Chi was one of the best Marvel movies that has been made, and the vast majority of the fans love that movie. It's simply due to the story that they need to tell and sort of the timeline of that story that might make it to where Shang-Chi 2 might have to come after the multiverse saga. But that has nothing to do with Marvel's faith in the movie. Now, one thing that we have to address is something that Simu Liu said not too long ago, back in April of 2024. Simu Liu himself gave us an update and he stated, "I promise it's happening." He then updated us again in August of 2024 promoting his new movie Jackpot, and in an interview with Press Trust of India, when asked about Shang-Chi 2, he stated, "A lot of it is above my pay grade, but it's definitely happening. So just very excited to work on it. And it's gonna be amazing. I really can't say anything beyond that." Now, what's important to note about this is that it was before San Diego Comic-Con. And based off of the information that we heard, nobody else knew about Robert Downey Jr. returning. In fact, in an interview, Ryan Reynolds revealed that they were going to do a post-credit scene with Robert Downey Jr. and the rest of the Avengers for Deadpool and Wolverine. But Robert Downey Jr. couldn't do it. At the time, they didn't know why, but then when it was announced at SDCC, they were like, oh, that's why. So Simu Liu couldn't have possibly known about Robert Downey Jr. returning as Doom, and simply the change from the Kang Dynasty to Avengers Doomsday. And that was a really big change, specifically for Shang-Chi in a couple of different ways. And this is why now a lot of people think that Shang-Chi is possibly, I don't want to say canceled, because even if we don't get Shang-Chi 2 before Doomsday or the Infinity Saga, I do believe eventually we will get a Shang-Chi 2, but we'll just say canceled for the Multiverse Saga or postponed. The reason people think that it might not be happening in the Multiverse Saga is because director Destin Daniel Cretton is now going to direct Spider-Man 4. And he was supposed to direct Shang-Chi 2. This was already confirmed. So we knew that Shang-Chi was coming, but again, everything changes with the introduction of Doctor Doom to the MCU and the removal of Kang, because Shang-Chi was going to specifically and obviously be connected to the 10 rings. And based off of what we knew, the 10 rings were supposed to be connected to Kang. But now Kang is no longer a part of the MCU. And based off of what we've heard from some insiders, it seems like Marvel Studios is simply going to just move on, perhaps not even give us an explanation of why he's not here anymore or why he is a threat. And they kind of did wrap that up at the end of Loki season 2. They showed us that the TVA is monitoring all of the timelines for any variants of Kang. So some insiders have stated that that could simply be the end of Kang the Conqueror. And in all honesty, it does kind of wrap up decently well. We did get the post-credit scene for Quantumania, but recently Alex Perez from the Cosmic Circus has stated that many things that have been set up in the MCU probably won't come to fruition or get wrapped up at all. One person asked him in his Discord, will all the loose ends set up in Phase 4 and 5 be finally fulfilled? Example, Dane Whitman and the Ebony Blade that was set up in the post-credit scene of The Eternals. The Judgment of Earth 616 by Arsham, the Celestial, also from the Eternals. The Bangles with Kamala Khan, aka Miss Marvel. the Ten Rings with Shang Chi, and countless other setups. Cough, cough, the Council of Kings. And this was Alex's response. No, definitely not all of them. The most you'll get is the Bengals with Kamala. So by him stating the most that we'll get means that everything else probably is not going to be fulfilled. But sadly, this lines up with pretty much everything that we've heard so far coming from both Marvel Studios and Disney, and also insiders as well. Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, has been stating for a while now that some things aren't going to make it. They're going to cut some things meaning projects, and they're going to go back to focusing on the more popular franchises. Kevin Feige confirmed this as well, and this is a little bit different than what is going to happen with Shang-Chi 2 and some other projects. For projects like The Eternals and possibly Armor Wars and perhaps season 2s of other projects, those might simply just be cut. There are some projects that might not ever get sequels or even really start, such as Armor Wars. In fact, even Don Cheadle recently made a joke about Armor Wars. When somebody asked him about it, he said, "What is Armor Wars?" Joking, obviously, because it's been delayed so much. It was supposed to be a show, now it's supposed to be a movie, but it was supposed to happen a long time ago. And now that Disney, and recently in a lot of interviews for Agatha All Along, executives from Marvel are stating that, hey, not everything's going to make it to the screen. A lot of people are thinking that a lot of these projects are gonna be cut. But as far as Shang-Chi and other really important characters in the multiverse saga are concerned, the good news is, even if their solo films or sequels get cut, they themselves are still going to play very important roles in the multiverse saga. For example, we know that Shang-Chi and Katie are going to be training, or at least we think so, under Wong. But Wong has pretty much confirmed to all of us in the post-credit scene for Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings that Shang-Chi and Katie will return. And of course, all of the insiders have said they're going to return and be a part of the Avengers team as well. Or at the very least, Shang-Chi will. In fact, I think it would be really cool to find out that Shang-Chi has actually been training with Wong this entire time, Katie as well, and has mastered the Ten Rings even more than he has before. So the good news is Shang-Chi is around for a long time, and I do believe that he is one of the characters that will survive the soft reboot of the MCU that happens right after Secret Wars. I think Simu Liu and Shang-Chi are going to be around for a pretty long time, which I think fans will really be excited about. So even though we might not get Shang-Chi 2 due to Destin Daniel Cretton directing Spider-Man 4 and the complete change of the next Avengers film, the Kang Dynasty, the removal of Kang as a whole from the MCU, I do believe Shang-Chi is going to be a very important character in Avengers Doomsday, Avengers Secret Wars, and beyond the multiverse saga, as well as anything else that might get cut. Like, I know a lot of people want a Miss Marvel season 2, myself included, but we might not get that till after the multiverse saga. However, we do know we're getting the Young Avengers, so Kamala Khan is sticking around and will be important. So look out for some project announcements from Marvel Studios. Look out for the Phase 6 announcement. Maybe we'll get that sometime this year. Hopefully we don't have to wait till next year's San Diego Comic-Con, but be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the latest videos, because if we find out, of course, we'll do some updates. And go ahead and let us know what you think about this news in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and you can also find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.